Good morning. It's been a little while since our last garden tour update. Probably about 4 or 5 weeks since we did the last one, and things have really taken off around here. You can see behind me the beans are massive and going gangbusters. Last year at this time we didn't even have any beans growing, so that's really exciting. I will take you on a tour and show you what we've got going on. Alright, so first off here we have our trial zucchini varieties from Seed Savers Exchange. You can see this one, I believe this one's called Genovese, and it is already produced a little guy there. And then this one is Costata Romanesco. It won't be far behind. Then we have some peppers here. They're kind of straggling behind everything, but they are producing. We've got jalapeno here, some bell peppers, and Nepali orange pepper. Then we've got our bush beans here that are doing pretty well. And we've got some eggplant back here that are probably not getting enough sun. More pole beans here, and they are taking off. The zucchini, carrots, we've got onions. We got onion sets from Dixondale Farms this year and planted these guys early in probably mid-March or early April, and they are already quite large. And then along both sides we've got cattle panel trellises with tomatoes. So this first one here is an Inchiardi paste. Doesn't look like it's set any fruit just yet. That one was a little bit behind because it started to get it started to dampen off, and I had to cut it and reroot it, and so it's a little behind the other plants. We've got Anna Banana Russian here, which looks like it'll be the first big tomato to ripen. You can see that one's already starting to blush and turn yellow. Then we've got Church, which has some nice big green tomatoes on it. Then we've got Smiley, which has a lot of gorgeous green tomatoes on it. Then we've got Anna Russian, which is the pink version of Anna Banana. We've got Heidi, and this one you can see hasn't even made it to the trellis. This is a variety from Africa. It's semi-determinate, and it's a paste tomato. Should produce a lot of good ones for canning. Then we've got pink Berkeley tie-dye here on the end of this trellis. You can see the fun stripes these tomatoes are gonna have. They are gonna be gorgeous. Then we've got our pole beans here. And they are all the way past the top of the trellis, if you can tell that up there. Then we've got our pumpkin plant here at the end. This is just one hill of pumpkin. It is a Long Island cheese pumpkin, which is actually in the Muscata family of squash, which is different than most pumpkins. It's the same as butternut. Then we've got here, we'll start from the very end. We've got orange banana, Cosmonaut Volkov, which has quite a few on there. It looks like that one got a little too much sun. We've got another Cosmonaut Volkov, Cherokee Purple, Opalka, and these are quite funny shaped tomatoes here. And another Cherokee Purple, which has quite a lot of fruit. Another orange banana, some basil, marigolds, another Heidi. This one actually reached the trellis. It's rather prolific here. Then we've got a butternut squash, Anna Russian, Nepali orange pepper, Smiley tomato. That one's also behind from the first tomato got knocked off, so I had to plant a second one. Then Church, Anna Banana, cilantro that's gone to seed, and a Russian number 117. Out here along the outside we have an acorn squash, giant marigold bush. These were supposed to be mini marigolds. Well, the flowers are miniature, but that's an entire shrub. We've got a kabocha squash, Thai basil, butternut squash, another miniature marigold which produced a shrub. And in front of the beans we've got a Hubbard squash, which is quickly trying to take over the entire garden. And then over here we've got some sunflowers. This year we've got quite a lot in containers. As you can see, this is the patio section. We've got about 10 dwarf or cherry tomatoes in pots. These are the 3-gallon pots. We've got ruby slippers, ildi, moonlight mile, which is a variegated tomato plant, so the white on the leaves, that's actually supposed to be like that. It's not unhealthy. Then we've got Emerald City, Yellow Brick Road, and some more basil. And this is one of our favorite cherries from last year, Dwarf Eagle Smiley. And here's our cabbage. This is a purple cabbage, which I tried to cover it, but it outgrew the covers and the bugs don't seem to be bothering it too much. We've got some trial varieties of dwarf tomatoes from Seed Savers Exchange. Obviously these are producing our first ripe tomatoes. I did taste one of these the other day and was not particularly impressed. The skin is really thick, such that I actually spat it out. And then we've got green cabbage over here, which the cabbage moth would love to get a hold of, so it's covered. And then, walking into the greenhouse, we have a ton going on in here. We've got peppers of all sorts. So you can see there's a bell pepper, banana peppers galore, looks like a Jimmy Nardello, this curly thing here. Bulgarian carrot peppers, this one is really prolific. Those will turn bright orange eventually. We've got a sheep nose pimento, some hot peppers that haven't produced any fruit yet, micro tomatoes, Wisconsin Lakes, which is I think just a shorter season bell pepper, Bulgarian carrot, fish pepper. This is another variegated plant that's really pretty. Kalugaritsa, which is similar in heat to a jalapeno. Then we've got actual jalapenos, another bell pepper, corbaci, which are these crazy curly things. And then we've got a cucumber in a hanging basket. And it's got little baby cucumbers on it. Up here in the front gardens, we've got garlic, which is almost ready to harvest, strawberries, which we already harvested, and our container tomatoes. Here we've got an updated flower bed with lots of irises, so we're excited to see bloom next year. This flower garden has gotten just a bit out of hand, but we did harvest some blueberries off of these plants last night, which is awfully exciting. See there? And then just a mix of flowers and more blueberry bushes. First one to ripen this year was this one, which is Northland blueberry. Thank you for joining me at Rundle's Urban Farm for our second garden tour of the year. I hope you enjoyed and hope to see you back in a couple of weeks for another garden tour.